Nostalgia. Oh, Ben 10. Now that's a name I haven't heard about in years. Released on October 30th, 2007 for the PlayStation 2, PlayStation Portable, Nintendo Wii, and Nintendo DS, Ben 10 Protector of Earth was the first game to be released based on the series. Released a day before Halloween. How interesting. I know, right? We're going to be playing Ben 10 Protector of Earth on the PS2 as that's the version I have. I never played the DS version, but the PSP and Wii versions are pretty much identical, though the Wii version is in widescreen and it has some pointing functionality, but when you get down to it, all versions are pretty much identical, so you can't go wrong with either one. So, licensed games are either pretty good or just plain bad. So, how does Ben 10 Protector of Earth fare? Is it good? Is it bad? Let's find out. Yeah.
Oh man, I forgot how jamming this theme song is. Seriously, it's dope.
It is pretty cool. But anyway, back to the game.
So the game starts off with Ben asleep. Some superhero he is.
Give him time.
Then a robotic bug flies onto the Omnitrix and starts sucking out its data. The next morning, something falls from the sky and wakes up Ben. Wanting to investigate what that thing is, Ben tries to change into his alien form Accelerate, but...
Go, mighty Omnitrix power!
So, Gwen, what do you have from those ranger station cameras?
That's amusing. So we can now start playing the game. And right off the bat, I need to address something.
So the game on the show is called Ben 10, so you expect to play as all 10 aliens, right? Well, sorry to disappoint you, but you only get to play as 5!
Now the game's plot explains that the bug took away some of Ben's alien forms. You start out playing as 4 Arms and Heat Blast, but after defeating 3 of some of the game's bosses, you unlock all the other aliens you're able to play in the game. Accelerate, Cannonbolt, and Wildvine in that order. But even after you beat the game, you still can only play as these 5 as the Omnitrix still isn't working properly for some reason. So if you hope to play as all 10, well you can.
Well, that sucks. I mean, I can understand why they didn't do all 10. I mean, maybe it has something to do with the development time they had, the game budget, game balancing, and all that. I mean, I understand, these things happen, but for a game called Ben 10, you expect to play as all 10, but you can't.
But anyway, you use the square and triangle buttons to inflict light and heavy attacks. String them together to do combos, and the left stick to move, obviously. And the X button to jump and double jump. The game tells you that you can use the L2 and R2 buttons to switch alien forms, but you can also use the right stick to do that. And then the R1 button to change into that alien form, or pressing in the right stick to change. The circle button is your special move. As Ben, you roll out of harm's way, and for the other alien forms it varies. 4 Arms uses it to move blocks. Accelerate to dash in a set path. Roll up ramps as Cannonbolt. Shoot a Heat Blast as Heat Blast. And just swing with Wildvine. It's a pretty simple game really. You go through the various levels beating up bad guys, defeating bosses, jumping on platforms, and solving minor puzzles. It's kind of like God of War, but minus the M rating. You also get to listen to Grandpa and Gwen provide commentary.
But my plumber instincts are telling me that Heat Blast could be the key.
No.
I've analyzed the plans and found a weakness in that switch. A precise hit will start a chain reaction which should destroy the system. Only a precise hit will set off a chain reaction.
What a complicated way of saying, push the button and the platforms will rise.
Put that fire out before the whole place explodes.
Nope. Okay, fine, I'll put it out. But seriously, I sat there for a couple minutes and nothing happened. You can also beat up the RV and hear Grandpa yell at you.
One more jolt, and I'm burning your Sumo Slammer cards.
When you're playing as your alien forms, Ben's attacks hit harder and he jumps higher. But as you play as the alien forms, the green meter behind your form's silhouette in the upper left-hand corner will go down. Once it's down completely, Ben will turn back to his regular self, and you have to wait for it to recharge. There are pickups to keep the meter up and recharge it quicker, as well as to refill your health. But one trick I always use was this. When you're almost out of health, turn back into Ben and you'll be at full health. Wait for your Omnitrix to recharge and change back to an alien and you'll be at full health. and for Ben vice versa. And you'll be doing this a lot as the game gets much tougher at the end. When you defeat enemies, they'll drop Omnitrix points that when you collect them, the yellow meter below your health bar gets full. Once it's filled completely, you'll be able to unlock a combo for one of your alien forms. This helps keep the game feeling fresh, as there's always new combos to try out to keep the combat from getting too stale. But honestly, as long as you spam the strong attack button, you'll be just fine. Also throughout the game, there are Sumo Slammer cards. Glad to see them making great use of the show's license, as Ben is a big fan of Sumo Slammers in the show. In some of the levels where if you collect them, you'll unlock some bonus content like concept art and videos. In this one particular Sumo Slammer card, it looks like you can just jump to it, but that tree thing is in the way. But it looks like you can still jump around it and make it, but there's a conveniently placed invisible wall. It's like the developers did this to tease us and say, oh no, you're gonna get this card the way we want you to, with Cannonball after you unlock him.
Touché.
In the game's extras menu, which can be accessed in the level select screen, there's a place called Secret Code, where if you put in the right combination of aliens, which you can find online, you unlock cheats and costumes to play around in. And there's also a place where you can view the characters and enemy models in all their 3D glory, if you really want to. Some seriously gnarly designs in this game, guys, for real. Besides the fact you can only play as 5 of Ben's aliens, there is one other thing that kinda bugs me about this game. You see, when you defeat a boss, you have to turn back into Ben in order to initiate the QuickTime event finishing move. Why? Why can't I just do it regardless of what form I'm in? Kinda weird that I have to do that, but that's really a minor thing, as with all that was said, this game is still surprisingly good. All of the original voice actors reprised their roles for the game, including the voice acting legend Tara Strong as our lead Ben.
What are you doing?
For someone supposedly so smart, you say a ridiculous amount of stupid things.
And honestly, hearing the aliens talk in their very voices is just music to my ears.
You never see this in any of the comic books.
Like moths to the flame.
Hey, check it out. I can take my nose so fast you can't even see it.
All right, we got a mystery to solve. Let's bounce.
Oh yeah, I'm a mean green butt-kicking machine.
Of course.
The visuals are also pretty good. Bright and colorful and flashy, even if the animations in the cutscenes can be pretty stiff. And the finishing moves on the bosses are sick. The music is pretty good too, rocking lots of sci-fi electronic music with the mission select screen having a pretty relaxing tune, especially with all the action you just went through. And the fact that it's a map with pins holding pictures of Ben and his family fooling around really drives home that at the core of the game in the series is that it's just a simple family vacation that happens to involve aliens in action. It's clear to me that the developers wanted to make a quality game for the fans with the constraints they were under, and despite my issues, I feel they succeeded.
So overall, if you're looking for a good action game minus the blood and guts, then Ben 10 Protector of Earth really isn't that bad of a choice. So I think that should just about do it. Thank you so much for watching.
Wait, hold on a moment.
Pardon?
Okay, told us about the gameplay, the presentation, and things that bother you.
I mean, yeah.
But you didn't talk about the story! You didn't talk about the story!
Oh, right. I didn't mean to avoid the story, as I feel gameplay and presentation are far more important. The storyline's not bad, mind you, but it's not really something I want to get too in-depth about, nor do I want to spoil it because I actually recommend you play this game.
Just know that if you're a fan, there's lots of fan service here, and even if you aren't well versed in Ben 10, the story is still enjoyable. It's just the show's main villain Vilgax is always after the Omnitrix and sends his minions to attack you, as well as teaming up with some of the other show's villains to fight you. And like the show, it's happily ever after, so there, that's the story. How it all plays out is for you to experience.
So that sums it up, I feel. Overall, Ben 10 Protector of Earth is a pretty good game. The visuals are solid, the gameplay's fun and challenging, and there are extras to play with after you beat it. So if you like action games, and you want to take a break from all the blood and gore and swearing, as well as, you're a fan of Ben 10 and you missed out on this game, then yeah, it's worth a look. So that just about does it. Now if you'll excuse me.
Yeah.
It started when an alien device did what it did.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching the first episode of my show. It's definitely rough, but hey, I can only get better from here, If you found value in this, drop me a like, and if you want to see more from me, then by all means subscribe if you want. Until next time guys, see you soon!